Okay, as promised, we are going to discuss crafting. So, for armor and weapons and how to make them, I've got something in here that I'm going to bring with me to show you. But I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, if you've peered down and had a look at one of your weapons that you found in the wilderness, you will notice that next to where it says the tier, whatever it is, item, there is a percentage. So, for example, this is 35%. This one here is 58%. Starter items will never have it. 33, 67, etc. So you can see there is a percentage there. What that means is it is simply a direct indication of how close this is to maximum stats. Okay, so it basically is, in layman's terms, how good it is. Okay, so you can see that this scythe is not very good for this tier. Okay, it's only 35%. Now, you cannot, and I mean it is impossible to change that number for anything that you find, which is why natural max or 100% that you found in just on their own can be incredibly rare, and also you can sell them for a pretty penny. If you happen to find a tier 6 100%, congratulations, you just won the lottery. If you happen to sell that, do not sell it cheap. You can get so much money for that. It is not even funny. So keep that handy on you if you happen to get so lucky. Now, just with this, as I mentioned, you cannot change that. But for an item that you are crafting, you can. So I am currently crafting this dagger here for a friend. It is currently at 88%. As you can see, I can use it, no problem. I can even put mods on it. And whenever I want to go about continuing the crafting, I can put it back in the anvil here, and I can continue further. I'm going to go back into advanced crafting at first, but how you actually begin crafting is using the crafting bench, and you're going to want to select either a weapon or an armor, depending on what you want to do. Then choose which one you want to do. Say I want to do a bow. I then choose the tier. And this is the resources it's going to take. As long as I have that in my inventory or I am at spawn and it is in my bank, I will be able to click that and begin the crafting process. What that will do is it's going to bring up essentially the same thing here. And I will be able to... Oh, yeah, I think actually it'll give you the item and then you can bring it over here. And then you can continue with this. Now, keep in mind that advanced crafting isn't going to be just something you can do straight away. I would recommend waiting and if you're going to craft, especially later tiers, until you have advanced crafting unlocked. You will get it at particular levels. Okay, so let's check over here. You can check for some information. At level 16, you will get advanced crafting, but if you hold out a little bit longer, you will get a chance to save materials on reroll. I would definitely wait for that chance to be quite significant before you go about doing it. You will save a lot of money this way. So you can put this in here. Once you have advanced crafting, this will allow you to change your stats. Okay, so that's currently at 88%. If I click that, it's going to bring up this menu. Now, this can be a little bit overwhelming at first, but it's really not all that complicated. Okay, you've got some stats here. These are for the minimum and maximum damage. You've got for puncture or whatever it is. So if it's axe, it's strength regen. For this, it's attack range. And then you've also got the number of attachment slots. Okay, currently, these two I've already done. So they've maxed. Okay, that's why they're at 100%. And that star is an indication that that stat is max. When the item is at 100%, it will also get a star next to it because that item cannot be improved. In order to craft tier 7, there's a whole different crafting process for tier 7, but tiers 1 through 6 will be done this way. And tier 7 is sort of similar to how netherite works for diamond weapons and armor. In regular Minecraft, it is you take a max tier 6 and then you directly upgrade it to tier 7 and continue from there. But don't worry about that for now. This is a quick explanation on advanced crafting. Okay, once you've got the desired stat that you have, you can right click to lock this stat to make sure you don't accidentally roll it. It is so that you're not wasting resources. But also just remember, when you roll a stat, you can have a look at your chances here. So, for example, this is for maximum damage. You can see that the 48 has a 91% chance to roll, but I've got there's a 2% plus the 6.8%, so about 9% for the max stat 49. Once you have gotten an increased stat, it will not go backwards. Okay, you're not going to be able to get, if I've got 49 and I roll it again, it's not going to give me 48 because I've now unlocked that higher stat. Okay, so this percentage is not going to go, it's not going to go backwards. You're always going to be progressing, but it might take a fair few tries in order to get the stat that is max. Okay, so how do you actually improve your chances? Well, you've got some options here. So I'm just going to quickly go over these. So basic reroll does exactly what you would imagine it does. It just rerolls the stat and you have a chance of getting something better. Okay, it adds plus 2% crafting bonus, but that's a little bit on the insignificant side. It's only 2%. If you do an advanced reroll, it's going to use double the feedstock, at least for tier 6. Anyway, it's going to be a bit more costly to you, but it's going to add 20%. My recommendation is not using advanced rerolls ever for tier 6. For lower tiers, absolutely, because feedstock is a lot easier to get, but for tier 6, it is a lot more expensive this way, in my opinion. So I would avoid that for tier 6 crafting, but everywhere else, you can absolutely go for this. Totally fine, go for it, go for your life. With tier 6 though, if you're not going to be doing this, this is where you will hopefully have saved a fair few of your gems, and you can use it for research, which is going to straight up add 80%. So you can click this and I can put it onto this, and it's going to increase that crafting bonus percentage. And in doing so, that plus whatever percent is also going to increase by however much. So I like to, for tier 6 crafting, I like to get that the total success for the max stat to around 8 to 10%. I think that's the sweet spot, but you can play however you want and craft however you desire. So that's how you do it. Now, keep in mind, you're not going to be able to use researches straight away. You're going to have to do a roll to unlock a research, and once you use that research, that number is going to go down. That's what these uses remaining are. I have a total of 8 at the moment, which is the max, because I've already done lots of basic rolls on this and happen to not get these stats. Okay, so that's how you do it. And also, if you want to save some gems or some feedstock, there are other ways that you can actually do these rolls, and I'm going to quickly just show you now. So part of what you can get from mastery crates, I'm going to need 2 stacks. Do I have 2? I don't have 2 stacks of this. I don't have 2 stacks of that. That's fine. What you get from mastery crates, I'm going to go into those very soon, probably the next video. But you can get these things here. So I'm going to put this back in, go to the advanced crafting, and you will see that now that I have these in my inventory, these options have popped up. So in order to use them, you have to have 2 stacks of each in order to use it once. And what it does is, if I click this and then apply to a stat, it's going to just straight up add 10% crafting bonus to that stat. Pure and simple. This one, also quite pure and simple. If I've got 2 stacks of that and I click it and then put it onto here, it's just going to roll it, okay? It's just a straight up roll, basically the same as basic reroll, but it's not even going to give you the 2%. But it is an alternative that can be used, so just so you're aware, and you can go about using them if you want. Last thing I want to mention with the crafting is that this here, the maximum damage is required for maxing the weapon total, this percent. The min is totally your choice, okay? This minimum will determine the range, okay? This number here will change based on whatever the minimum is. At the moment, this is 8 to 48. If I roll this, I might get a different damage range. Usually, most people prefer non-RNG. I am with these people. So the least RNG you can get for tier 6 is 28 to 29. So very, very consistent damage. I like it like that. It means that whenever I'm doing damage, I can always count on it to be reliable and always do the same damage. If you want to play risky, you might want to do the complete opposite, 1, 2, whatever the max is. I can't remember for tier 6 because I don't play that way. That can be useful in some situations. Say that you are a gambling man and you want to make a bow that has a huge range, and when you play in PvP against your friend and you roll high, oh boy, does he know it. So that's that.